there's one thing that every person knows in the world, it's a classic TV show called SpongeBob SquarePants. I mean, who doesn't know about him? You can't even go about 10 seconds on a social media without seeing at least one SpongeBob clip. It's that iconic. However, though, there's one thing that's always remained about SpongeBob, is that most of those clips come from the older episodes, from seasons 1 to 3. However, though, ever since season 4, I could go far to say that SpongeBob has been in a downward spiral into madness, and it's not been going good for the yellow sponge. So today, I'm joined with Pac-Fessor, and we're here to be renting on the modern SpongeBob seasons, and yeah.
What's up, guys? I am back for another video, and yeah, I've gotten SpongeBob since, I was little. My first SpongeBob episode was during Kids to Bath, where SpongeBob says, Jerry, get in the tub right now. And then, and then I also like some other episodes like Cookie, Pickle, the chocolate, and then Pizza Delivery. Those are some episodes I like.
Yes, but if there's one thing that SpongeBob fans can always agree on is that the older episodes were golden. They were some of the best episodes I've ever seen in the series. Seasons 1 to 3 were amazing, and they were all written by Steven Spielberg. So then, after season 3 ended, Steven wanted to create a movie, and he did so, and it didn't release until November 2004. He marked it as the end of the series, and it definitely felt like a good ending to the SpongeBob series. However, though, with Nickelodeon wanting a lot more money, they then decided to milk the series for all it's worth, and then create season 4 of SpongeBob SquarePants. This is where many people saw the decline of the series, and that is incredibly more suitable. The ideas were still decently well with season 4, but it's a decent season all around, nowhere near as good as the first 3. But it has some moments in its times. However, though, and then season 5 came out, and this is a season I see no one talk about. I see people talk about seasons 1 to 4, but not much of 5. There's a big reason for that. It's because most of the newer seasons don't really have much good ideas for episodes anymore. That's just a problem with most TV series, is that eventually they have really good ideas, and then they just start running out and milking the series for all it's worth. That's just how it is. And even when they're not, it's just, it's not fun. And then we get to the worst season ever, in my opinion, season 6. Without a doubt, the worst season in SpongeBob history. This has so many not good episodes. Like the Splinter, what the fuck is this? And then this Truth or Square, which, by the way, the game was good, but the actual special itself, with them constantly hyping it up so many times, with making a game which was good, like I said, and hyping it up with so many merchandise, and then the whole entire special was just filled with flashback sequences that just drag on for way too long. This is one of my least favorite SpongeBob episodes, and this is also another thing that the community can also agree on.
Right, exactly. You have the early SpongeBob episodes that had Patchy the Pirate. The one episode where it says, on big cookie dough. And then the Polly the Parrot says, give me some of that. And then he says, back off, it's flying free. And then Polly eats all the cookie dough and says, Polly, you eat all the cookie dough. And that was a funny SpongeBob moment, because that was the early days of SpongeBob. But you have season 6, and it's just it's the worst one, I'll give you that. But why will you keep milking the series? Does the people at Nickelodeon have good ideas? I'll say that Nickelodeon is probably worse than Disney, in my opinion.
Yes, and here's the thing about season 6, is that I can't really remarkably find one good memorable moment like season 4. And here's the thing. The thing that you just mentioned about Pac-Fessor was Christmas specials are always a good treat in SpongeBob, with the first one being Christmas 2, which is where you examined that clip from at the beginning of the episode before, we cut it in. And then, SpongeBob just hypes everybody up for Christmas, and then when Santa doesn't come, they all just leave, and then SpongeBob gets sad, and then Squidward rubs it in, and then realized how sad SpongeBob was, and then, he decided to give away all of his furniture and that, so that people actually did believe in Santa. and made the guy happy. That is such a good Christmas special, and it's one of my favorite Christmas specials I've ever seen on TV. And another good,
Right.
no, it's just so memorable, and it's one of my favorite episodes of SpongeBob. But
Yes,
season six,
here, man.
season six had nothing really good. However, though, going into season seven, again, this is yet another forgettable season. The content was variety the same. Squidward was constantly getting tortured, aka, that one episode in season six. We all remember that one. And every single episode of SpongeBob, the man was just getting bullied for no reason ever since season four. Why does he deserve this? And then they also turned Patrick into a really dumb person when he used to actually be quite smart and had plenty of good ideas. When nowadays, he's just really fucking dumb and doesn't know a single thing.
Right, exactly. It's just like I said, the early SpongeBob seasons are great because they have memorable scenes, and all of them mostly have memes in them that people love. Like seasons 1 to 3 were the best SpongeBob seasons I've ever seen, and like I told you about this, but I have a USB that has all the SpongeBob seasons until now. But I usually just watch seasons 1 to 3 usually because they're basically have really good episodes. There's I told you about this a while back, but there's one modern SpongeBob episode that I like. We'll talk about that in a while, but otherwise it's just like the rest of the seasons are just like really trash, and like 6 and 7 is probably the worst.
Yes, and then going into season 8, this one is yet another fucking forgettable entry. Although the episodes are a little better this time around, but again, not much to say. And then into 2013, we make our first jump into widescreen with season 9, which was the first jump into, 60 by 9 televisions. And despite that jump, nothing really insane is going on about it. I mean, it's still fucking modern SpongeBob with just the boring old jokes, and Squidward still constantly getting bullied by everyone, and SpongeBob just annoying him, but that's just a part of every single episode, really. So then, after season 9, we then got another SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, in 2015, and then for this one, Stephen Hilbert actually went back to work on it. And then after the movie, he actually went to go back and work on another season. So when season 10 came out, it actually was not too bad. It was a decent modern SpongeBob season. And that's not bad. I mean, it still has some bad charms to it. But other than that, it wasn't that much of a bad season. Hell, even later in the season, they referenced Doodle Bob. That's how you know it's good.
Right, exactly. And like the movie Sponge Out of Water, it was decent in my opinion because they had some pretty good actors in here, like Antonio Banderas, he played the pirate guy, and then you have some other actors who return as the other characters, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it was decent, but it could have done a bit better with the live action segment. But the animation was very good. I'll give them that. But the live action could have been a little bit more worked on. But the first SpongeBob movie will always be the best one. But we'll talk about the third movie. Oh God, yeah, that movie was something else.
Oh God. So before we go into the cancerous that is the third movie, we then move on to the 11th season. Again, this one wasn't actually too bad and a good step in the right direction since Stephen was still working on the series at the time. Personally, one of my favorite episodes in season 11 has got to be the one dedicated to the fish who constantly says my leg a lot. And then after that, it's followed up by the worst SpongeBob episode of all time, Ink Lemonade. This is, without further ado, one of the worst episodes of SpongeBob I've ever seen, and really isn't that good. They try to use, so basically what happens is that SpongeBob and Patrick scare the shit out of Squidward so that way they can make money for lemonade and ink. And this is just such a stupid episode that no one from the SpongeBob fandom likes it. There's some redeemable factors about stuff like Truth or Square, but other than that, Ink Lemonade is by far the worst SpongeBob episode I've ever seen, and that's within season 11. the later episodes being decent, and we got another Christmas special this time around. But before we go into that one, we got one back in 2012 during season 8's run. It's a SpongeBob Christmas, was actually another good Christmas special. Especially, I love the stop motion style that It's a SpongeBob Christmas actually went for. And I love it. The fact that it was only used for two specials, the Christmas one and then the Halloween one in 2017 with season 10. So then season 11 came out with another Christmas special, which really didn't feel like one, but I'm not going to talk about it much. And then season 12 came along, and then we got one of the best episodes we've gotten in a long time. And that is SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout, coming out in 2019 to celebrate SpongeBob's 20th anniversary. And
yeah, that's the only modern SpongeBob episode I like. The rest of them suck balls. Like, this is the one that said, oh my god, Nicholas finally has an episode I like, finally. And now it's on my computer now. Now I can watch on my USB anytime I want to. But yeah, this episode is really good. It's one of my favorite ones of all time. It's a good special. It's a long one. It's very good. They even have the actors who play. So in the episode, they have the actors who play the characters. So they show the actors in person. They show the SpongeBob actor. They show Patrick. They show Mr. Krabs, Plankton, Sandy, Squidward, all the rest of them. And yeah, it's really, really interesting that they really went with this. But yeah, this is the one that really caught my eye. I went to the trailer and said, oh yeah, this is pretty good. I'm going to watch this when it came out. And when it came out, I actually loved it.
Yeah, that was a really good modern SpongeBob episode. But another thing to mention about season 12 is something that was actually having the internet on, very keeping the internet interested, was in one of the episodes in season 12 called SpongeBob and Random Land. And yeah, the land was indeed random. However, though, there was this one scene in the episode where a lot of doors spawned in, eventually opening to the right direction. However, though, within opening a couple doors that Squidward opens up, he then opens the final one, and then we see Red Mist Squidward come into an official episode, which is such an amazing sight to see. Unfortunately, about a couple months later, they removed it and replaced it with Baby Squidward, which is a lot more or less good. But seeing Red Mist Squidward in the official episode was actually so cool. I mean, yeah, it caught everyone off guard, and the internet was talking about it for a while. In fact, it's still actually being used in memes to this day. But other than that, I would go far to say that season 12 was actually a pretty decent season, with the addition of Big Birthday Blowout and a couple others. It wasn't that bad, honestly. And then after that, I kind of sort of stopped watching SpongeBob, so I really didn't know what happened after season 12, but maybe you could explain the rest. But anyways, season 13 and 14, as far as I know, were nowhere near as good as season 12. And it just really goes as far to say how weird of a climb that modern SpongeBob has had. Unfortunately, in 2018, Steven Hilberg ended up dying, so yeah, that was a very sad thing that happened. So I would go far to say, just because of him dying, I feel like that's like the reason why it's kind of gone back to where it used to be. But they had really good episodes for modern SpongeBob, like Big Birthday Blowout and the Christmas special from 2012. Those were both really good episodes in terms of modern ones. And most of season 10 and 11 was actually alright. Season 12 was alright too, but I'm just going to go far to say is that if there's any SpongeBob episode you should go watch, just watch the first 3 seasons and some of the later seasons. Just
right.
Because...
And then you have, of course, the movie, the third movie.
Oh yeah.
Boy, what about even begin with this movie? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. This was the movie that I had a nightmare on.
Yeah, so let's explain this one. So the first 2 SpongeBob movies were pretty good, although the second one I just thought was decent, and the first movie is a masterpiece. But the third one, oh god, voice crack. But the third one is by far one of the worst movies I've ever seen ever. This came out in 2020 on HBO Max, and I watched this. Actually, no, it was Paramount Plus. Yeah, Paramount Plus. It came out on Paramount Plus, and then I watched it, and then afterwards, I was just like, what the fuck was this? So, one thing I can only say about Sponge on the Run that was actually kind of good was the art style. I did, again, just like it's a SpongeBob Christmas, they used the same exact type of animation here, and that was cool. But but even though, but this is such a bad movie that's the only positive thing I have to say about the entire experience.
And they were originally supposed to call it It's a Wonderful Sponge, but they changed the name to Sponge on the Run. And why? This doesn't have to do with running. It's just about finding Gary. Like, it's just like you could have had gone the same animation, but instead you go with this animation that looks even worse. And the only thing I like about the movie is the casino scene, and that's it. Like, the rest of it stuff falls. Like, why is Keanu Reeves playing a tumbleweed in the dry land? And Patrick and SpongeBob, they're water characters. How can they live on a dry desert? Like, what's even going on here?
Exactly. And then here's another interesting thing. So there's actually another thing called Sponge on the Run. There's a mobile game based off of the second movie with the same name, the SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run. That's the same exact title from the mobile game. So they used the title from the mobile game into the third movie. And while the animation is nice and the casino scene is decent, the rest of the movies were complete fucking trash. King Neptune didn't even look like King Neptune from the first movie. And on top of that, the plot is just fucking stupid. Like, who am I supposed to know who took Gary? And the fact that, and the worst part of this whole entire movie was made to promote a fucking show with that didn't even make a single bit of sense. That's what happened. There was a lot of segments in the movie where there was a flashback to baby SpongeBob and how he met Gary. This was basically promoting Camp Coral at the time, and a lot of people were furious.
This is where we get to the show. Steven Hilberg said no spinoff, but what do we get? We get Camp Coral, and then we get a Patrick show.
Yeah, they're like, oh no, Steven's dead. We're just gonna do what the fuck he told us not to do, because he isn't here anymore to tell us no. Nickelodeon, are you fucking serious? Like, listen, I know there's bad companies out there known for being bad, like EA, but if EA can be considered one of the worst game companies of all time, then I can consider Nickelodeon as one of the worst, studios of all time. I would just go far to say that Nickelodeon kicked ass in the 90s and was such a really good television network, but now they've just gone to shit. Constant SpongeBob spinoffs and just milking the fuck out of SpongeBob because they're never going to end the show after 22 years of having it, actually 23 years now. And that is just way too long. That's all I see nowadays on the network is just SpongeBob. Like, what the fuck, man? What happened to the cool Nicktoons that we used to get back in the day? What happened here? And when they do get around to releasing those Nicktoons, they always put them on Paramount Plus, either in a very shitty reboot, or it's just not good. I would love to rent on Nickelodeon here, but this is a SpongeBob video, and this is not a Nickelodeon video. I would go off. Trust me, I would go incredibly off on how they've been handling their stuff on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, right. And the modern SpongeBob stuff, this is just like the modern Very Odd Parents stuff, like all over again. I love the intro, the early intro for Very Odd Parents. That was the OG there. But like I said, later on Very Odd Parents, it sucks. The modern SpongeBob, it sucks. It's just like that. But there are a couple episodes to watch. And like I said, this is a thing I didn't say, but why do you use these characters less? Bring back SpongeBob's grandparents, bring back SpongeBob's cousin, get new voice actors for Merman and Barnacle, even though those actors passed away, and use Larry the Lobster a bit more, and same with Gary. It's just use those characters more. It's just it's not that hard.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. Anyway, I would go far to say that modern SpongeBob is just a pile of trash nowadays. There are some good episodes out there, but there are more bad ones than good ones. Again, SpongeBob is probably the most well-known television show ever. And there's so many memes made about the shows, is that most of those memes you see are from the early seasons. I don't see a single one from the modern ones because they're just not fucking funny. The earlier seasons were just so funny, and they still crack me up to this day. However, the newer ones are just not funny. They appeal to, way more younger kids nowadays. It's just, I don't think that SpongeBob is really nowhere near as good as it used to
And
be.
before, yeah. And then, yeah, for the early SpongeBob season, there were, like, teens and adults love it. The early SpongeBob seasons, but now, it's just for little kids. The teens and young adults don't like this crap.
Exactly. I mean, it's perfectly fine, but that's all I have to really say about modern SpongeBob. I know this video went on quite a little bit long with 21 minutes ranking in, but it's just like, my God, modern SpongeBob has just not been good, and Nickelodeon does all these shows dirty because it's bad to see, especially when, again, like you mentioned, shows like Fairly Odd Parents also declined because of this. Although Fairly Odd Parents died because they added characters that nobody asked for, but other than that, like,
Yeah.
but SpongeBob is just a completely different story. Like after the first movie, things just went to shit. I really do feel like they shouldn't have ended on the first movie because it was a good ending to the series. It felt like an ending, but here comes the season 4, and then it ruins everything we had. And to this day, we still have this yellow sponge who refuses to leave off of the screen. That's just how it is nowadays.
Right, and before we end the video off, I was about to give the Techonotoxygen drum accessory, but instead I told Candace that which she's very excited about. I'm getting the Techonotoxygen Rhythm Adventure Pack very soon. I don't know when I'll be getting it. I'll be getting it digital, not physical, because the physical version is only in the UK, which goes for like $70, and it on digital goes for like $50. So yeah, I'll definitely get it very soon. I don't know when, but we'll be definitely doing a review about that game for sure in the near future.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed our review. I hope you enjoyed our rant on modern SpongeBob, and definitely look forward to that Tycho video. The final game I'm going to be reviewing in this series that I've done for Tycho. I reviewed Drum Master. Go watch that if you haven't already. And I reviewed Drum and Thumb of Pac-Fessor. Again, go watch that if you haven't. And we're gonna be finishing it off with Rhythmic Adventures. So, yeah. I hope you guys will be excited for that. But anyways, we hope you enjoyed our rant on modern SpongeBob because yeah, there's just so much we had to say, and yeah, stay tuned for tomorrow's upload. I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but it's probably gonna be something that me and him have already recorded. I don't know. But actually, no, I already know what we're doing tomorrow. But yeah, Pac-Fessor, what are your last words before we end it?
Just watch the early SpongeBob season. Just don't watch the modern ones because it's really bad. But the only two I recommend for modern are the Christmas special and the birthday blowout. That's basically it. And if you guys been to Nickelodeon Hotel in the Dominican Republic, if you guys been to the SpongeBob Hotel or the Tweet, whatever we want to call it, but let us know because I think that will be pretty interesting. But yeah, that's all I have to say there.
All right, and without further ado, we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care for now.